There are moments in life when a bond between a child and an animal can change the course of a person's journey. It's a bond that transcends mere companionship, becoming a lifeline that offers hope, healing, and a sense of purpose when the world feels like it's closing in. This is one of those stories. A sick child, struggling against a condition that many cannot understand, finds solace not in the usual places, but in the unconditional love and support of a service dog. This is a story of how a special dog came into the life of a young child, bringing with it not only comfort, but also the strength to fight. Meet Emma, a little girl who has faced more than her fair share of challenges in life. Diagnosed with a severe illness that affects her mobility and ability to engage in the simplest of daily activities, Emma's world often feels like it's filled with limitations. For a child, the inability to experience the joys of playing freely with friends or simply running around the yard can be devastating. It's a reality that no one, least of all a young child, should have to face. And yet, Emma's reality was one that demanded immense strength, courage, and resilience. But even with all the love and support from her family, something was missing, something that would lift her spirits, give her comfort, and remind her that there was still beauty and joy in the world, even amidst the challenges she faced. That's where Max, a dedicated service dog, came in. Max wasn't just any dog. He was trained to be Emma's eyes when she couldn't see, her support when she couldn't stand, and her anchor when the weight of her condition threatened to overwhelm her. The story of how Max came into Emma's life is a testament to the incredible ways in which animals can provide more than just physical assistance. They can offer emotional healing and hope. When Emma first met Max, she had no idea how much he would impact her life. She was just a little girl, nervous but curious, unsure of what this new companion would mean for her. What she didn't know was that this meeting would be the beginning of an extraordinary journey, one filled with moments of pure connection and love. From a very first day, Max and Emma formed a bond that went beyond what words could express. It wasn't just about Max helping Emma get around or providing support during medical treatments. It was about the way he made her feel. He was there during her darkest moments, the ones when the pain became too much to bear and the world seemed too overwhelming to face. In those moments, Max was there to offer his unwavering presence. He would sit by her side, his soft eyes watching over her, his calming energy providing comfort that no medicine could replicate. The connection between them was immediate, and it wasn't long before Emma began to feel a sense of relief that she hadn't felt in months. The deep emotional connection between the two was undeniable, and it was clear that Emma was no longer alone in her fight. This is a story that will not only tug at your heartstrings, but also remind you of the extraordinary power of companionship, healing, and hope. Max didn't just become Emma's service dog. He became her best friend, her protector, and her symbol of hope. As you follow their journey, you'll witness the life-changing impact that this loyal dog has had on a little girl's life, showing us all that sometimes the greatest healers come before legs and a wagging tail. Emma, a bright-eyed 8-year-old, has known more hospitals and doctors than any child should. She was born with a rare condition, one that affects her mobility and energy levels in ways that most people can't imagine. A disease that weakens her muscles, leaving her fatigued and unable to perform everyday activities like running, jumping, or even playing with her friends. It's a condition that has kept her home more often than not, relying on her family for help with even the simplest tasks. From the outside, Emma appears like any other child, full of potential and curiosity, yet behind her smile is a daily struggle that others can hardly comprehend. Her illness has made her world feel smaller with each passing day. She's missed school events, birthday parties, and the joy of running around with her classmates, while her friends get to play outside and engage in the activities every child dreams of. Emma has been confined to a life of limitations. The simple joys of childhood, a game of tag, climbing a tree, or even walking the park, are beyond her reach. As the months turned into years, the emotional toll on Emma and her family became heavier. Her parents, who once hoped for a cure, found themselves constantly seeking new treatments, adjusting to new routines, and watching as their daughter's world shrank bit by bit. The frustration and sadness were evident, not only on Emma's face, but also on the faces of her parents, who felt powerless in the face of a condition they couldn't fix. There were nights when Emma would cry in her mother's arms, asking why she couldn't play like the other kids, and her parents would have no answers. The emotional burden of seeing their daughter endure such hardships weighed heavily on them, testing their strength as a family. Despite the challenges, Emma never gave up. She found small ways to cope with her condition, through books, through art, through watching her friends from her window as they played outside. Yet, no matter how hard she tried to push through, there was always a sense that something was missing. She needed something more than just medical treatment. She needed a sense of normalcy, a reason to smile every day, and something to help her regain the strength to keep fighting. That's when the idea of a service dog came into the picture. After years of medical trials and struggles, Emma's family began to consider a new approach, a companion who could provide more than just emotional support. A service dog was exactly what Emma needed. Someone who would not only help her with physical tasks, but also provide the emotional stability that had been so lacking in her life. The idea of a service dog was more than just a way to make Emma's life easier. It was a way to restore a sense of hope, independence, and joy. For Emma, a service dog would mean having someone by her side who understood her limitations without judgment. Someone who could offer support in ways her family and friends couldn't. A dog that would help her stay active, give her confidence, and remind her that she could still experience life in ways she had been longing for. This dog wouldn't just be another pet. It would be a part of her healing process, a companion whose loyalty and love would offer Emma not just comfort, but the courage to keep going. It was a lifeline, a new chapter in her journey of resilience and hope. The day Emma met Max, her service dog, was a moment filled with a whirlwind of emotions. She had been waiting for what felt like forever, hoping for the arrival of her new companion. The anticipation had built up over weeks, as her family prepared for the life-changing day when Max would enter their home. Emma had heard about Max's training and how he had been specially selected to help her, but nothing could truly prepare her for the instant connection that would follow. As the door opened and Max stepped into the room, Emma's eyes widened in awe. There was a mixture of excitement and nervousness in her gaze. She had no idea what to expect, but she knew this moment would be a turning point in her life. Max, a gentle yet strong service dog, immediately approached Emma with calm and confidence. His eyes were warm and his posture was reassuring. He wasn't just any dog. He had been trained for one specific purpose, to help and to heal. Emma hesitated for a moment, unsure of how to react to the large dog standing in front of her. She had always wanted a dog, but Max wasn't a typical pet. He was here to help her, to assist her with things that she couldn't do on her own. Despite the mix of emotions running through her, Emma slowly extended her hand toward Max. And in that simple gesture, the first bond between them was formed. Max responded immediately, gently nuzzling Emma's hand, offering her a soft and comforting presence that put her at ease. It was as if he knew exactly what she needed in that moment. Emma smiled, a small but genuine smile that reached her eyes. She felt a wave of warmth wash over her, as if Max had already become a part of her world, and her fears seemed to melt away. Max sat beside her, his eyes never leaving her, as if he were silently promising to stay by her side through everything. It was a quiet but powerful moment, one that would forever change the course of Emma's journey. Over the next few days, Emma and Max began to form a bond that was both heartwarming and profound. Every day, they spent more time together, and Emma grew more comfortable with Max's presence. At first, it was small things. Max helping her get around the house, offering support when she needed to stand or walk, and sitting quietly by her side during her medical treatments. But it didn't take long for Emma to realize that Max wasn't just helping her with physical tasks. He was also helping her emotionally. His presence brought comfort in ways that no words could describe. When Emma felt overwhelmed or sad, Max was there to offer his calming presence. When the pain from her condition became unbearable, Max would lay beside her, his warmth offering a sense of security and peace. The bond between them was growing stronger with each passing day, and Emma began to feel a sense of hope that she hadn't felt in a long time. Max wasn't just a service dog. He was Emma's companion, her confidant, and her best friend. He was there to support her in every way possible, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Their connection was immediate and undeniable. Max had become more than just a tool for assistance. He had become an integral part of Emma's healing process. As the days turned into weeks, Emma's confidence began to grow. She was no longer afraid to face the challenges of her illness. With Max by her side, she felt braver, stronger, and more capable of taking on whatever came her way. The bond they shared wasn't just about the tasks Max helped her with. It was about the trust, love, and emotional support that they offered each other in the quiet moments of their days. And as Emma continued to heal, Max became her constant source of strength and comfort, proving that sometimes the most powerful forms of healing come in the form of unconditional love. Max wasn't just a regular dog. He was a highly trained service dog, specifically chosen to help Emma navigate the challenges that her condition brought into her life. His training went far beyond simply being obedient or following commands. Max had been carefully selected for his calm demeanor, intelligence, and sensitivity to the emotional needs of those around him. He wasn't just there to help with physical tasks. He had been trained to sense and respond to Emma's emotional states, offering her the kind of support that went beyond the practical. He was a dog with a purpose, and that purpose was to be a lifeline for Emma, a companion who would make her life easier, more manageable, and full of hope. One of Max's most unique qualities was his ability to sense when Emma was in pain or distress. His training had equipped him with the sensitivity to detect subtle changes in her mood or physical condition. If Emma was feeling overwhelmed by the pain from her illness or the exhaustion that often came with it, Max would immediately step in. He would position himself next to her, providing a stable presence that calmed her, or he would nudge her gently with his nose, encouraging her to take deep breaths and relax. It wasn't just about being a companion. It was about offering comfort at exactly the right moment, when Emma needed it most. Max knew when Emma needed to feel supported, and he instinctively responded with tenderness and reassurance. Max's training also enabled him to assist Emma with physical tasks that were difficult for her due to her condition. He could help her when she needed to stand or walk, offering his sturdy body as a source of balance and support. There were times when Emma would need help with getting her shoes on or picking up things she had dropped, and Max was always there to lend a paw. He had been taught to fetch specific items, to open doors, and even alert her parents if she needed assistance in an emergency. Max wasn't just a pet. He was an essential part of Emma's daily routine, providing her with independence that she otherwise might not have had. His training allowed Emma to feel more in control of her life, offering her a sense of freedom that many children her age took for granted. Beyond the physical tasks, Max's ability to provide emotional support was what truly set him apart. He was more than just a dog who followed commands. He was a companion who understood Emma's needs on a deep, emotional level. When Emma felt isolated or when she struggled with the loneliness that often accompanies chronic illness, Max was there to offer her comfort. His gentle presence was a reminder that she wasn't alone in her struggles. He wasn't just responding to her needs. He was anticipating them, offering love and support without her even having to ask. His loyalty and affection created an unspoken bond between them, one that grew stronger with every passing day. One of the most remarkable aspects of Max's training was his ability to interact with Emma in a way that allowed her to feel normal again. He wasn't there to pity her, to treat her differently because of her illness, but to empower her to live her life to the fullest within her limits. Max wasn't a dog who saw illness or limitations. He saw a child who deserved love, joy, and comfort just like anyone else. Through his training, Max had become a constant, unwavering source of support, understanding, and companionship, enabling Emma to face each day with a little more courage and a lot more hope. Max's special qualities didn't just help Emma, they helped her family too. By providing Emma with the care, emotional support, and physical assistance she needed, Max gave her parents a sense of relief. They could see how Emma was beginning to thrive in ways they hadn't imagined possible. With Max by her side, Emma's journey wasn't just about overcoming the limitations of her illness. It was about reclaiming her independence, her joy, and her sense of self-worth. Max's training, his unique qualities, and his unrelenting love made all of this possible. And for Emma, that was nothing short of miraculous. After Max's arrival in Emma's life, the transformation was nothing short of remarkable. It wasn't just the small, everyday improvements that made a difference. It was the profound emotional and physical changes that began to unfold in Emma as she adapted to her new life with Max by her side. It was as though, in a way, Max became the key to unlocking a new chapter in Emma's journey, one that was filled with more hope, strength, and determination than ever before. Physically, Emma began to gain more independence. Before Max, The simple task of walking across the room was a challenge. Now, with Max's steady presence and support, Emma was able to move with more confidence and balance. Whether it was walking the kitchen or going for a short walk outside, Max provided the physical stability that Emma needed to do things on her own without relying on someone else. The changes weren't immediate, but over time, Emma's strength grew. Her posture became straighter, her steps more confident, and she began to feel more in control of her body. With Max helping her, Emma felt like she was reclaiming a part of her life that she had lost to her illness. It wasn't about the big milestones. It was about the everyday moments where Emma felt empowered, and it was all thanks to Max's presence. Emotionally, Emma began to flourish. For the first time in a long while, she felt a sense of joy that had seemed impossible in the face of her illness. Max was more than just a service dog. He was Emma's emotional anchor. When the days felt long and her illness weighed heavily on her, Max would be there to offer comfort. His presence helped ease Emma's anxiety, especially during the more difficult moments when she felt overwhelmed. Max had a calming effect that was hard to describe, but easy to feel. He would sit with Emma during her more anxious moments, offering her his warm, steady companionship. If Emma was feeling frustrated or sad, Max would gently nudge her or rest his head on her lap, offering her the kind of unconditional love that made everything feel a little easier. Max didn't need to speak a word. His silent support was all Emma needed to feel a little lighter, a little more at peace. Max's training also allowed him to help in ways that were more medically specific. Emma's condition sometimes led to episodes of extreme fatigue or pain, and there were moments when her health would take a sudden turn for the worse. During these times, Max would spring into action. His ability to detect subtle changes in Emma's condition, whether it was a drop in energy levels or an increase in pain, allowed him to alert her family and provide immediate help. There were times when Max would gently nudge Emma's hand when she wasn't feeling well, or position himself in a way that helped her stay comfortable. If Emma experienced physical discomfort or needed a moment to rest, Max was always there, offering both emotional and physical support. One of the most touching aspects of the transformation was the joy that Max brought into Emma's life. He had a playful side, one that wasn't just about work or support. It was about making Emma laugh and smile. Whether it was chasing after a toy or simply playing a game of tug-of-war, Max's playful nature reminded Emma of the fun and happiness she deserved. Max didn't just support Emma during the tough times. He also made space for joy and laughter in her life, something that had been missing for far too long. The transformation wasn't limited to just Emma. It affected the entire family in profound ways. Emma's parents, who had spent so much time worrying about their daughter's well-being, began to feel a sense of relief. Watching their daughter grow stronger, more confident, and more at ease was a gift they hadn't anticipated. They saw Emma smile more, interact with her peers more, and take on the world with a new sense of courage. Max had brought a sense of normalcy back to their home, and the impact of that change was felt deeply by every member of the family.